What socially unacceptable behavior should be considered acceptable? Having your elbows on the table while eating. I don't even know if that's a universal thing, but it's considered bad behavior where I'm from. Same here. I never understood why, though. I just know it's an etiquette thing and I never do it. It apparently goes back to sailors putting their elbows on the table to stop their bowl sliding when at sea. When they were back on shore, sailors not being the most respected or nicest of lads at the time, the other town folk thought it was uncouth, so it was considered bad manners. That's a good story, but I think it's more of a practical reason. It's supposed to help you learn to sit up straight and proper at the dinner table. If you put your elbows on the table, you're more apt to hunch over your bowl and sort of shovel your food in. If you sit up, you'll eat slower and be more social. For kids, this would be an especially important habit to learn. Never understood the need to be social when eating. This should be bad manners, not elbows on the table. Oh, man. Thanks for sharing this. This is the most interesting thing I heard today. Declining to do volunteering charity. It's not for everybody, and it doesn't necessarily make you a terrible person for not getting involved. As an animal shelter volunteer, I 100% agree that it's not for everyone. I'd rather the people who try out of societal obligation stay away as they're not at all passionate enough about what we do to get through the gritty stuff. Anglo-Saxon cultures have a terrible problem with charity. They'll often see it preferable to the welfare state when it is more inefficient, more expensive, and far more volatile. It's quite puzzling for us continental Europeans. Which Anglo-Saxon cultures? Because Britain, descended from the settling Angles and Saxons, has a world-class state welfare system. I think they are referring to Anglo-Americans. Depends on the charity, I guess. Some charities may actually be more efficient than the welfare state, even given that there will always be some level of overhead to cover the paperwork and basic operating costs. And the issues that the US has with veteran affairs right now indicates that the government shouldn't have a monopoly on doing good for people. Talking back to elders. Sometimes they're the one who are in the wrong or personally attacking you, and it's just that you take a stand or fight your point. There is a difference between responding to someone's mistakes effectively and speaking with condescending anger to convey the message shut up without using those exact words. Everyone needs encouragement to clarify their good intentions sometimes. Speech without good intentions falls under the rule. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything. You can contend that you are president of the US and somebody else is threatening war and it's your job to say things that are not nice. But the president of Iran has already demonstrated that you can say what needs to be said without proudly deriding others to gratify the base impulses. You should be able to flat out say no to plans without having a valid reason. Makes me so guilty when I say no to my only 2 friends. I don't have the money or energy to go somewhere 3 times a year or even once a year. I adore them, but I get tired just after 2 hours of spending time talking with them. The same sort of goes for accepting or refusing help, money, etc. when someone insists. My rule for this has always been, on the receiving end, if someone offers to pay for something, help to give whatever answer I feel, and then give them one opportunity to revoke their offer. For example, if someone offers to cover the meal, I could say, that's sweet of you, thank you. Are you sure you wouldn't rather split it? If they again say that they'd like to cover the meal, then the conversation is done. I hate the forks polite back and forth. Men wearing shorts to work when it's hot. Interesting, in my line of work it's easier for men to wear shorts than women. What's your line of work? And can women wear skirts? Wait, this is considered unacceptable in some places. Seriously. Going to a kids movie alone as an adult. I love the How to Train Your Dragon movies, and I'm self-employed. I went along to a random afternoon showing of the 3rd one and got so many strange looks in the cinema. Luckily I'm fairly thick-skinned and ignored it, but it could really have ruined things for me. I accidentally saw Matilda _ didn't realize I was in the wrong screen until after the other movie had started. I regretted nothing. It was lots of fun. I feel like Disney movies are the exception. My fiancé and I regularly go see Disney movies even in our mid-20s, and honestly the live-action Disney trend feels more marketed toward adults than this generation of children. I just watched Detective Pikachu by myself, and I was as giddy as a child the whole time. Going to a kids movie alone, as an adult. When did this become socially unacceptable? Or better, where is this unacceptable? In pretty much every single cinema I've ever been to, since becoming an adult, you're normally okay in the evenings, but if it's a weekend or weekday matinee then you'll get some bizarre looks. Refusing to babysit your siblings, kids or cousins, any family really. I loved babysitting my nephews, so I always said yes, but my sister always offered me money and didn't assume I was available. I would hate it if people just expected me to do it for free and at the last minute. My sister loves taking my daughter, but she refuses money. So every month, I go out and buy her things she needs or wants from Costco. She doesn't have a membership and use that as payment, so I don't feel so guilty. Harvesting the organs immediately after someone has died. Dwight has entered the chat. One of the funniest scenes from the entire show. How's that? A man of quality. Normally I think you are right, but harvest everything is maybe too much and too broadly spoken because you can donate your eyes, and I think this is something very personal when the funeral is happening, but everything inside the body, I think you are totally correct. Edgar Ivanova has entered the chat. Not talking. I dislike that it's considered rude. Most everyone has moments when they just wanna chill and just observe without having to make conversation constantly. Europe is the place, man. Americans are too polite and fake nice. I'm from a country in Europe, but a very loud and talkative one. It's like the more south you go the more outgoing people are. Well, it's a stereotype, but I would be better fit if I was born in Finland or somewhere up there, haha. Outgoing extrovert people are everywhere. You just need to find the right friends. When you do, you'll want to chime into conversations. I hate when people feel the need to fill every silence with meaningless small talk. I'd rather concentrate and work silently than talk to talk. Giving money as a present instead of gift cards. This might be a culture thing. In a lot of Asian countries, giving money outright as a gift is fairly common, i.e. Chinese New Year red envelopes, cash gifts at weddings. Dads taking care of their kids without people thinking he's just babysitting. Turning your phone off and leaving it that way all day because you don't feel like communicating with anyone. I know it sounds weird, but I've never understood why it's acceptable to walk around in your bathing suit in like a beach town during the summer, but not to walk around in your underwear. They're the same thing essentially, just different fabrics. Not saying I would walk around in my underwear. I don't even walk around in my bathing suit at the beach. I just never understood it. Social context and the fabric itself matters. If underwear was the same thickness and had the same sense of security as bathing suits, it would be the same, but we call underwear delicates for a reason. I thought they were called dinties or small clothes. I got those two terms from F is for family and A Song of Ice and Fire. You really don't understand the difference in underwear and swimwear. Eating alone. I'm tired of people looking at me like I'm a serial killer when I tell them table for one please. I rather enjoy a table for one at a restaurant. Maybe even go see a movie by myself after. And if you see movies alone, every time you get movie tickets for free you get to watch 2 of them. Just tell them table for 2 and act all sad about halfway through the meal. They might feel bad and give you a discount. It's actually kind of insane that liking your own company is seen as a weird trait in society. I'm very introverted and I love doing things on my own. The amount of times people have called me weird, awkward, or asked if I was a loner is insane. No, I have friends that I love and I'm pretty normal. I really enjoy doing things on my own and on my own time. Taking as much time off from work, school, whatever, to deal with your physical and mental health problems. Having your own opinion on things. Is this a personal attack? Just walking away from a social situation you no longer want to be a part of? Maybe with an announcement, but yes, you are right. No, see, that's the problem. When you tell people you're leaving, they often confront you about it or try to convince you to stay. If you don't give a reason that seems valid to them, they insist until you break down. It's intensely irritating, especially when I have a reason that I don't want to talk about. Maybe you're right and I'm wrong, but I think when they tried to convince you otherwise, then you have a solid reason to just go because you made it clear in the first place. I don't know, in the end it depends how convinced you are of your own opinion. I think if you can live with this, then okay, but it would be too strange for me. PJ pants in public. Who exactly am I hurting if I choose to go out in my comfy pants? I know you're right about this. Last weekend I was at the supermarket and I saw a grown man turn up literally in his PJs, tops and bottoms, white flannel with little blue ships on, no shoes, mid-afternoon. I really, honestly thought this was strange. I don't see this an awful lot. Social norms can be very rigid, but hey, rock it out. I sometimes pop to the shop without a bra on, and I'm not exactly nubile, so I strongly support any type of pants in public. I do this taking my daughter swimming in the morning. Why would I waste putting fresh clothes on when at the end I'm going to come home and need to shower anyway, at which point I'll feel gross putting worn clothes back on. Cussing. They're just words. Cussing is unacceptable because it lets us express really strong emotions. You'll find that the less you cuss, the more of an impact it has to others when you actually do it. If we normalize current cuss words, then we'll just end up making new ones. Not saying bless you when someone sneezes. I'm sorry, but I don't feel sneezing is a reason to bless anyone, and I refuse to participate in this practice. Call me a Scrooge, so be it. See, here in Finland we don't bless you for sneezing. We just say for health. Same roots behind both expressions, but I like ours more. What's that in Finnish? I bet it sounds cool. Terveydeksi, the translative singular form of terveys, health. That sounds much cooler. You can bet there are long strings of vowels together. It's probably from the German Gesundheit. Wikipedia has a cool list of these in different languages. Yeah, but mostly no one says anything. During my exchange year in Finland, I thought it was weird hearing someone sneeze in the classroom and then just silence. Honestly, it's a bit weird having to say something every time someone sneezes, but I'm so used to it. Head scratching. People assume I have lice, but I'm just balding really fast and it itches. The itchy and scratchy show 8. Running to and from places. People overreact about staring, like you look at them for 1 second, and they respond with what are you looking at, or stop staring creep, as well as pointing, like how else am I supposed to show? People get upset about pointing. How are you pointing? With his middle finger, presumably. I hate pointing, especially when it's aimed at me. If they are pointing at an inanimate object, fine. But pointy fingers invade my space and make me feel poked. Have you tried Xanax?